Hey everyone, my name is Chase, and my business partner and I are going to start a 3D printing business in 2025. I don't have any experience 3D printing, running a business, or manufacturing, so this is going to be really interesting. What I do have is a lot of experience doing things I haven't had experience in before. I started out in the Marine Corps. I did networking, and then I got a job at Microsoft, writing automations and building out a tool for a bunch of things that were way over my head, to then writing technical documentation about some things I knew about but didn't necessarily have the skills to write and learned how to write, to now a product manager. Didn't have any idea how to do that either, or for the technologies that I did. But I learned, I grew, and that's what I have experience in, and I plan to take a lot of that forward into what I'm doing now. My business partner, on the other hand, has quite a bit of experience with 3D printing. He's done a lot more than I have. Wonderful guy, and has experience running his own businesses. So that's really useful. This is going to be fun. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about doing this. But really the goal here is to share what we learn. And if nothing else, it'll be a lot of mistakes that you can avoid. So with that being said, it's time to move over my one printer to our shop. Oh, so why am I doing this right now? Why are we doing this right now? I mean, we've both got families, we've both got full-time jobs, we've both got comfortable livings, and we're happy, we're doing all right. But honestly, this is probably the best time to do it. Maybe not speaking personally, but right now, the market is perfect. And this machine here was what really changed my mind. So if there's a time to jump into 3D printing, it's better right now than before it's too late. So the way that I see it is that up until fairly recently, 3D printing for most people was about tinkering. There were, of course, super expensive industrial applications and companies that would take it, but for most people and for really getting it out there, 3D printing was for tinkerers, hobbyists, and pushing the envelope a little bit with what it could be at small scale. And then Bamboo Labs came out with printers, and they came over from DJI and brought that experience of bringing drones to everybody to bringing 3D printers to everybody. And it was more than just tinkering now, it was an appliance. It was something that you could take out of the box and start using without really knowing what you're going to do. You had enough models to start getting cool stuff and printing really well without having to figuring out all the layer lines, all of that stuff. Over this last little bit, Tim brought up the idea again of starting a 3D print farm. I said it may not be the perfect time personally, but as I took a deeper look at it, this could actually be a manufacturing capability, not just creating products and doing that, but an actual manufacturing process. There's injection molding and a bunch of things like that, and some people are already keyed into this and doing 3D printing more at scale, but I don't think the industry has it figured out yet. And I started trying to find resources about it and running print farms, and there's some stuff. But there's a lot of information that's not out there either, or hard to find, which generally means that the market isn't saturated and the opportunities aren't saturated. So, if there's a time and there's an interest and now an explosion in technology, and I think what's going to advance and hopefully be able to take advantage of that and maybe push the envelope ourselves a little bit, well, now's the perfect time. That doesn't come without its challenges. Set aside the personal side for both of us, where we both have things going on. The industry is not figured out. So with all of that opportunity comes a lot of hard work, comes a lot of challenges. That means all the legwork hasn't been done yet. That means that somebody has to do the legwork. And that's going to be some... Ooh. Hopefully that's good. All right, not bad. So someone has to do the legwork. That's a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of trial and error, a lot of things. Fortunately, I have a lot of practice at trial and error. I turned into the wrong place. Along with that, of just legwork, the industry is not figured out, which means all these companies that are building the technology that will eventually make everything possible are still getting things figured out themselves. Bamboo Labs is a great example. The platforms, the processes, the infrastructure, all of that is not there yet. And there's a lot of great people doing really cool stuff. One of the people who's really inspiring me right now is Slant 3D. Slant 3D. So if you haven't heard of him, go check out his channel. He's much more knowledgeable, doing really cool stuff with manufacturing and additive manufacturing at scale. Go take a look. If you're at all interested in this stuff, take a look at his stuff. So my goal is to use all of the challenges as signal and opportunities to find solutions for the challenges. That's ambitious, but I also gotta believe that we can do it. Otherwise, it wouldn't even be worth trying. That's intimidating, especially at what I think it could be. But what else is there to do? So, what's next? Well, seems like a good place to start. But there's a lot to do. There's a lot to figure out. There's making our own products. There's trying to get new customers. There's trying to figure out shipping, trying to figure out scaling, all of that stuff. And there's a whole lot of 3D printing. There's a whole lot of testing and trying out products and deciding the directions we should go. And I want to capture all of that here, not just for our own memories and for our own record, but hopefully to get it out there for people to learn. You can't do everything alone, and there's more than enough work for two people. And hopefully there's a lot more people interested in this and can use this and that we can learn from. So that's all for now. I'm definitely not going to ask you to like, subscribe, or comment or anything. But we're going to see what we can make. So, here we go. I was just kidding. Don't forget to like and subscribe.